One day Charlie came home from school and saw his sister crying in her bedroom. Charlie asked his sister why she was crying. She told Charlie that when she went to the toilets at school, she saw a strange man in a dress washing his hands. She said that the man gave her a creepy smile as she walked in. She ran out of the toilets and right away found a teacher and told them what happened. To her shock, the teacher told her that the man in the women's toilets was actually a woman and deserved to be there. The teacher then told her that she had committed a transphobic hate crime and will now be in detention for the next month. "You are the only person I've told," she said. "I'm terrified of what Mummy will say when she finds out. What should I do?" You tell your sister that what she did was awful to the poor trans woman. Your sister starts to cry loudly. You leave the room and tell your mother about how transphobic your sister is. The next day you are walking down a hallway in school and you see the trans person walking towards you. "Hi, Charlie. Right, I wanted to talk about your cute sister," said the trans person. "Look, I'm so very sorry about my transphobic sister," said Charlie in a panicked tone. A smirk appears on the trans woman's face. "I told her how wrong it was to react to you like that. I'm so very, very sorry," said Charlie. "Beg," said the trans woman. "Beg for my forgiveness." The smirk on her face becomes a sadistic smile. "Sorry," said Charlie. "You heard me, on your knees and beg," said the trans woman. Charlie gets on his knees and begs for forgiveness from the trans woman. A purple-haired girl walks past and looks at Charlie with a look of disgust. After school, Charlie is on his computer. He gets a message from a friend saying, "Dude, you have got to see this guy. He just lost $2,000 gambling, and he freaked the fuck out." Below his post is a link to a website called Chudways Farms. You remember your teacher in class telling you not to click onto links of sites for hate speech. She said that Chudways Farms was taken off the internet after harassing brave trans woman Clara Sorrenti. You made a mental note to never visit the site. "Mate, that site is transphobic and racist," Charlie replies to him. "God, you are such a fucking mug," he responds. Charlie is walking home after playing football with his mates. He sees a group of Pakistani men force a young white girl into a takeaway's back entrance. Charlie thinks to himself about how people have different cultures and how he shouldn't assume bad intentions of people just because they are disproportionately represented in child sex crime. Charlie feels bad for his wrongthink. Charlie is at home on his computer. He sees that a friend has said we need to stop bringing in infinite rapists into this country. It's a fucking joke! Charlie calls 111 and reports the hateful post to the police. It is his civic duty after all. The next day, Charlie hears that his friend's house was raided by the police, and the friend was taken to the station for questioning. Charlie doesn't feel too happy about this, but he had to do it for the sake of diversity. Charlie is at home at 7 p.m. and he is hungry. Charlie is considering getting a takeaway, but he has heard how takeaway delivery companies like Just Eat and Deliveroo are one of the main ways the boat migrants make money. Charlie orders a takeaway from an Indian place nearby on Just Eat. What he doesn't realize is that the head chef of this restaurant wipes his bottom with his hands and doesn't wash them afterwards. The doorbell rings 1 hour later. Charlie opens the door to see a migrant who can't speak English shout "Pen pie! Pin!" at him. Charlie gives the man the PIN code and takes the cold food in. Charlie eats it and thinks to himself that it wasn't worth it at all. Charlie is walking home after school. He usually wouldn't walk this way, but he wants to get home as soon as possible. On the other end of the alley, Charlie sees a group of Pakistani youths hanging around. As he passes the group, one of them grabs his arm and says, "Where do you think you're going, mate? Me and my friends want everything you've got in your pockets." Charlie says, "Sorry, but I don't have anything on me. I know that you are oppressed in this country, and I want to give my most sincere apologies for that. If there is anything I can do..." The Pakistani boy pulls the knife out and shouts, "White prick has nothing. Get out of here before police come!" Charlie collapses to the ground in pain. As he lays on the cold hard ground, he looks up at the sky, clutching his stomach, and thinks, "I guess the guy who stabbed me is happier at me dying than I'd be happy being alive, so whatever, I guess." Charlie collapses to the ground in pain. As he lays on the cold hard ground, he looks up at the sky, clutching his stomach, and thinks, "I guess the guy who stabbed me is happier at me dying than I'd be happy being alive, so whatever, I guess." Charlie loses consciousness. He bleeds out minutes later. His family grieves for a while. But in the end, despite his attempts of being exactly what the establishment wanted him to be, he was forgotten. He was only ever a useful idiot, nothing more.